Prescott and the Cowboys are running out of time to get a new deal done before the quarterback hits the free agent market. According to a report from the NFL Network, the Cowboys intend to use the exclusive franchise tag on Dak if they can't reach a long-term deal. So, Shannon, what would it tell you if the Cowboys do end up tagging Dak?
It would tell me they don't value him as a top quarterback, Skip. The franchise tag is about two things. Either we have questions about you on the field or we have questions about you off the field. There are no off-the-field question mark about Dak Prescott. On the field is where they have the question mark. And I think Dak is tired of Steven and Jerry Jones giving him empty calorie compliments with no nutritional value, meaning as a contract. Skip, you remember they franchised Von Miller. They franchised Von after he was Super Bowl MVP. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he had averaged double-digit sacks. But he had some issues off the field that the Broncos were uncertain of. So they franchised him until, like, okay, are we sure? He went a couple of years, didn't have any more things, so the Broncos said, okay, we were good. The Cowboys, and I believe you're going to start to believe this, Skip, they're creating a Kirk Cousins type situation. Because when you franchise a guy, Skip, you're basically almost betting against him. I think he's good, but if I sign him to a long-term deal and he doesn't get any better than this, I look foolish. But if he stays the same, well, I was well within my right. And that's what the Washington seemed to have done, Skip. They kept betting against themselves. Cousins realized if I can just finish the season healthy, somebody's going to pay me a king's ransom because I'm free. Dak Prescott understands, Skip, if he was ever free, he would get whatever he wants. But the Cowboys keep saying, oh, he's a franchise. We can win with him. We can win multiple Super Bowls, yada, yada, yada. But Dak says, okay, where's the contract? Where's the facts that back up what you're saying, which meaning signing me to a long-term deal? This is starting to look. Having gone through this, I don't really care. You know, my girlfriend used to tell my brother and I see better than I hear. I told you boys to take that trash out. Now, you told me you was going to do it, and I still sit in the corner. You keep telling me, Skip. No, you don't tell me, but Jerry and Steven, he's a guy. He's our franchise guy. We go yada, yada, yada. But Dak says, oh, how much longer do I need to wait? You should have came to him after year 3, Skip. Because if you didn't know what Dak was after year 3, you're never going to know. Like Teddy Pendergrass used to say, Jenny, if you don't know me by now, you will never know.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you know this does not work without you guys. And you can see we're already, well, let's open for business here. And you can see the football gods are already awake. How you doing, Miss Jackie? What is the good word for tonight? I've been not wanting to restart the clock because I kept thinking about how far it is before we actually get to the NFL season. And you start thinking about how far away it is. I just didn't want to do that. So I restarted it till the end of the signing period for, oh, a little volume. I'm sorry. Let me turn it up just a little bit there. Sorry. Did that get it? Did that get it? Let me make sure. Okay. Volume up a little bit. Make sure that that's good right there. Sorry. Forgot. The settings are a little bit different for the live stream versus the my regular daily setup. And you know I get to be a little bit off sometimes when I'm doing this stuff. But let me double check the audio levels. Okay. Make sure it's all the way up. Is that better? Is that a little more? A little more? Okay. Just a little more. There we go. Stream out. Webcam. Make sure. Hold up. Bam. Hopefully that is the trick. Okay? Okay. All right. Is that better? Sean Henry? Is that better? Okay. All right. So we have some different news on our Dallas Cowboys. A couple of things. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, there's always going to be people that are saying, you're an idiot, you're a flip-flopper. You know, they're just going to give me a hard way to go. All right, so I've been sitting here trying to rack my brains because everybody keeps going through. If the Dallas Cowboys really cared about Dak Prescott and wanted him, they would have already paid him. Why would they pay him? And I started looking at these numbers over here, okay, because it hit me as we sit here and we look at the cap space. You know, if you're Dak Prescott, you don't like being treated the way you've been treated. You know, let's be honest. You see Jared Goff get paid. You see Carson Wentz get paid. Hell, you see Nick Foles go to Jacksonville get paid, and after 1 year, they're trying to trade him. You know, basically, they paid him $40 million guaranteed, and he's there for 1 year, and they're trying to trade him. And I'll get to that.
Brandon Butler, thank you very much for Super Chat. You're going to be entered into the drawing for
this bronze statue. We'll do this on Friday. I'll make sure I do that on Friday so I can get everybody who has done a Super Chat since the Super Bowl there in the drawings. Okay, so as I was going through here and thinking about Carson Wentz getting paid and Jared Goff and the situation that other teams are in. Now, cap-wise, the Eagles have $41 million. Not bad. They're in pretty good shape because they extended Carson Wentz's, rookie deal, and they kind of put the money off down the road. I sound like Satan? You mean when I go
with the Super Chat?
Okay. Yeah, that's my thank you voice for Super Chats. But as I started looking through and going down to when you get to the Rams. The Rams have $14 million in cap space. That's it. $14 million. And they traded away their number one picks for the next 2 years.
Aaron Stanley, damn! Thank you for that Super Chat. You're definitely entered in the drawing for the bronze statue.
Okay. You look at the Rams, they're screwed when it comes to the cap. Because literally, they got $14 million. Todd Gurley has got, arthritis in his knees like I do. And they need a lot of players. They got Jalen Ramsey that they got to pay. And then I started thinking about the Chiefs, okay? Now Dak, $36 million, Watson, $38, Pat Mahommes, $40. Now, here's the thing. I said to myself, the reason why the Dallas Cowboys actually have the $77 million is because they didn't pay him last year. As a business decision, hey, they did a great thing for the Dallas Cowboys organization. They screwed Dak Prescott. But as far as the organization goes, that's why we have that $77 million. Because if you think about it in this terms, if they had done a deal like Russell Wilson, where the first year was $25 million and this year it would be $31 million, you're taking $51 million off of that. So they would only have $19 million now. So when people say he should take a discount, last year was a big-ass discount because Carson Wentz didn't take that one. Jared Goff didn't take that one. They took that money when they didn't actually have to pay them for 2 more years because they had the 5th-year option. So from the standpoint of where we are right now, we've got money to play with that the other teams don't. We have $37 million right now more than the Eagles. And we've got, oh my God, more than the Rams. We've got 60-some million. And so what I said was, if you go by that philosophy, they don't have to pay Pat Mahommes technically for 2 more years.
Big Dog 304. Thank you very much for that Super Chat.
$34 million, that's not a bad number. But the thing is now, here's the problem. The problem is because you waited, you have to look at it and say the franchise cap for 2 years. Franchise tag, which is about 33, provided that Pat Mahommes doesn't get his deal before April 15th. If he gets his deal and Deshaun Watson gets theirs, then that number will go up even more than the 33 for the exclusive tag. What's up, cuz? Keep hope alive, man. Keep hope alive.
L4G Custom Fabrication. Thank you very much for that Super Chat.
Okay, so when you think about, I want you to think about this one because I said you've got the Super Bowl champion, Chiefs, right over here. Okay, let me flip cameras. You got the Chiefs over here. $13 million in cap space with $200 million in spending that they have for this year. They are right now looking at trying to trade some guys as opposed to just outright cutting them. They're going to have to restructure contracts. They're going to have to let guys go because they're going to try and pay him $40 million and they got $13 million. Can you say payday loan? Can you say title loan? Because they're going to have to do some stuff to be able to pay him. So I said, technically, if you're the Chiefs, what you do to Pat Mahommes is say, you're still on your rookie deal. This is year number 4. Buddy, congratulations. You got all those endorsements like Dak Prescott's got. Why don't we wait so we can keep a team around you? And what people will say,
Aaron Stanley, what's up, man? You haven't got your shot glass? Aaron, make sure to listen.
Okay. I got a long list yesterday. I put a message out for everybody who was a channel member. Make sure that you email me again because I'm old and forgetful. Let me make sure that's Cowboys Mark 94 because I've got to send out a bunch of them. There's like 35 to 40 of them. So make sure you email me tonight, Cowboys Mark 94 Gmail about that. All right. So I'll make sure I get it to you. I'll get them out by Wednesday. Okay. All right. So if you think about that, the Chiefs are going to have a hellacious time fielding a team next year with having to pay Pat Mahommes. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but you look at that from a business standpoint, this is like a conundrum that a lot of people have of, do I eat? Do I pay the utilities? Do I buy my medication? I can't do all of them. I can't keep everybody. So what am I going to do? Something's got to give. And that's the situation.
Anthony Johnson, thank you for that super chat. Damn, they rolling in tonight. Appreciate it.
Ohio Cowboys, you got your shot glass. All right, well, we gonna toast. We gonna toast, okay? We'll do that a little bit later. Income taxes. So that's the situation that a lot of teams are in right now. And what they're trying to do is put pressure on the players to go ahead and get this deal signed, and they'll say, then we'll go ahead and do these other deals. So go ahead and vote us in. We get that 17 game, and then we'll have some money to pay y'all. But there, may be a little war on that. So that's where I got a lot of people saying, oh, you're flip-flopping. All the time you were saying pay Dak, and now you're saying it was smart. Listen, first of all, anybody who doesn't look at a problem or situation with an open mind and is open to realize there might be something better than what I thought is an idiot. Because you can learn things and you can look at things from a different perspective. You have to open up your mind. I said from the Dallas Cowboys point of view, what we did was we locked up these other guys before the salary cap changed because of the new agreement. We held on to as much money as possible. Now we can try and sign Amari. We can try and sign Robert Quinn. We can try and sign, Blake Jarwin. We can go ahead and try and keep Robert Quinn. And maybe we can try and get a player or two in free agency and then sign Dak. Like I said, it sucks if you're Dak because you're waiting to get your money. But they made a calculated gamble and said, Dak is a team guy. We know Zeke Elliott's not a team guy because Zeke Elliott wouldn't be out doing the stupid shit that he did that cost him 6 games and being suspended. We know that D-Law basically put him on blast and said, I ain't going to get my shoulder fixed, so I'm not going to play on the franchise tag. You know that Dak Prescott has been a guy that has always had your back and has always been there, and so they took that for granted. And in the end, for the team, yeah, it's a great move for the team. Sucks again for Dak Prescott. But Dak knows he's going to get his.
Aaron Stanley, thank you very much for the super chat.
Yes. There will actually be 2 more people added to the active roster. So there will be that if the new deal passes. Although, for me, thinking that there's 17 games, the guys that are 50 and to 53, they're getting chump change. They're getting league minimums. Why not open it up to 60 players? That way, when you lose guys, and you know you will lose guys, you have them already in your system ready to go. as opposed to getting a guy off the couch or a guy hanging out at Walmart or a guy bagging groceries. You know you're going to lose people. So that's one of those things that I wish they had thought of differently. Now here's an interesting take, because I didn't expect to hear this from Nick Wright, because this kind of blew me away.
Quarterback with playmaking.
Eagles, by the way, Kevin, picked 2 spots ahead of the Patriots. All right,
This
Patrick
was-
Mahommes' agent was asked about an extension for his now very popular client and Super Bowl MVP, and he said, quote, quarterback greatness is judged by Super Bowls. Nick, should Mahomes take a little less money to help win more rings?
No, absolutely not. Hey, listen, if it's all about team and championship, if I'm not mistaken, right now we have a collective bargaining agreement being negotiated, right? Why don't the owners just kick in an extra %? Hey, now the salary cap skyrockets. No problem. We never ask the owners to do that. So we should never ask the players to do that. I'm a Chiefs fan. I want the Chiefs to win as many Super Bowls as possible, but it's offensive to my moral compass to ask the players to
Name one other thing that's offensive to your moral
a
compass.
long list of things,
Okay.
but it's too long to get into. But
Okay, that's enough of it. But that's kind of interesting, because I'm going to be looking out. I'm going to do some more research, and I'm going to see if, in fact, that we end up hearing Nick Wright say that Dak Prescott should take a team-friendly deal, because I don't think anybody should take a team-friendly deal. And, when we have everybody who's worried about, he's going to reset the market. Listen, the market gets reset all the time, and it's really going to be reset over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because that's what happens. The market has been getting reset since Troy Aikman got his deal. Okay? So understand, that's just the nature of the beast. That every year the salary cap goes up. It's gone up by $12 million. If they sign the deal, it'll probably go up by about another $4 million on this year's deal. It's the way it goes. And the owners are trying to push that thing through because they want to go renegotiate those television contracts. And when they do, guess what? Next year, it's going to be a whole lot more money. So the money that we're arguing about, $34 million, it really is ridiculous. Because when you look at it, Kirk Cousins 2 years ago signed for $28 million a year guaranteed. And guess what's going to happen? The end of next year, he's going to either re-sign with Minnesota or he's going to sign with somebody else. And you can guarantee you it's not going to be for a team-friendly deal. It's not going to be for $28 million. Even though after this year he will have made $129 million in his career. You'd look at that and say, Kurt, buddy, you got enough money. You got $129 million you made. Why don't you go ahead and say, hey, let me kick some of that money back in so that way I can try and win a ring. So, James Cooper, here's the thing. What we get stuck on as fans is they'll say, hey, it was a $33 million deal. He turned it down. But understand, how you doing, Reggie Hart? Purge Squad, Cowboys up north. Sanya 2, you're new here. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the channel. American World Agency. How you doing? No taxes in the state of Texas. But hold up. Yes, we are planning on going to the draft, provided that the coronavirus doesn't kill everybody. I'm just kidding. It ain't going to kill everybody. I got a little take on that too, but we'll come to that in a little bit. Kirk Cousins isn't going to take a team-friendly deal. He's going to look to make as much as possible. And Pat Mahommes, Todd Archer, that guy, he's not going through and saying, we'll get you a team-friendly deal. You do realize he's the same agent for Dak Prescott, right? You do realize that, right? I'm sorry, Todd France. I said Archer. Sorry. Todd France is not looking to go ahead and get a team-friendly deal for anybody. His thing is I'm the head guy out there that's going to get you the most money, and that's why people are going to come to me. The minute he goes ahead and takes a cheap deal, people are going to be looking for somebody else. It's bad business. And the NFLPA don't want you to take less money. They want you to take more money. The players on the team, everybody understands. Listen, it's every man for himself. I get mine, you go get yours. How's it going? Glenn, I'm doing great, man. Derek, I'm not going to say it's a hoax, but it's also blown out of proportion where people are going to profit on it, too. Because I'm going to, okay, I'll tell you what, let me deal with this first real quick. It's serious. But don't panic, okay? In 1994, okay, between Christmas and New Year's, Michael was 4 years old. I got a little red spot about this big on my knee. And my knee felt a little arthritic, which was kind of funny because my other knee is the one without the ACL. I thought maybe I twisted it and didn't realize it. No big deal. That was on Wednesday. On Thursday, I had some swelling. And the spot was a little bit bigger. And I thought to myself, well, if it's still bothering me tomorrow, I'll go ahead and call my orthopedist. The next day, my knee was swollen up, and it was very warm to the touch. So I called my orthopedist and said, hey, I want to come in and get looked at because my knee is really killing me.
Aaron Stanley, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it.
They said, well, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. We're closing the office early. We'll make an appointment for you Monday. If it's really bothering you, go to the hospital, get some medication. We'll see you then on Monday. Saturday morning, my knee was about the size of a basketball. It was cherry red. I had 104 temperature, and it was hot to the touch. And that was, let's see if I can pull this up here, guys. Let's see. Let me slide on over here. That was this knee right here. I don't know if you guys can see the scar. And that was a Streptococcus A infection that literally swelled up my knee this big. That big. They immediately greeted me at the hospital when they transferred me from one hospital to the other with a team of about 20 people where they put me in an infectious unit. They literally took a needle and jabbed it in my knee while I'm being rolled down the hallway. On New Year's Eve, I had the first of 3 knee operations. They tried to scope it, but the infection, Streptococcus A, flesh-eating bacteria, was so bad that it clogged up the needles. So they went back in the next day and they cut it open, left it packed for 4 days, and went back in to scrape out the infection some more. At that time, there was the panic of flesh-eating bacteria. There were 12 cases, I think, in Virginia at the time. 8 of the people died. The problem with the flesh-eating bacteria is if you go to the doctor early enough, basically penicillin will wipe it out. But if I had waited just 12 hours more, my leg would have had to been amputated. If I had waited 24 hours longer, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now. So this is the same thing with, say, the coronavirus. People with a weakened immune system, it's going to be worse. My father, 2 years ago, had the flu that turned into pneumonia. He ended up at 11 o'clock at night falling out. They called an ambulance, took him to the hospital. He spent a week in there. He's 80 years old now. And it literally almost killed him because it can make you sick. The reality is there's some kind of a virus that is very, very deadly to people that are more at risk, or if you don't take care of it. So I'm not going to say it was, I have no idea where it came from. I don't know where my flesh-eating bacteria came from. It's strep A infections, but there are shit out there that can kill it. What you do is you take precautions. You make sure you wash your hands. You make sure if you're sick, you keep your ass at home. If you sneeze, cough into your elbow and don't shake anybody with your elbow, okay? But don't go through and panic, and be careful about what you read, because people are forever going to try to get you to click. I saw this thing this morning where they were talking about how the coronavirus, you can catch it from stuff from China 9 days after it was shipped. And it said in the article, if you look for it far enough, it said debunked. But if you didn't really read the whole thing, you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, everything's made in China. I'm going to get sick because, the mailman just came through. Mailman's sitting there thinking, well, damn, I'm carrying packages from China. I'm going to die. So, the shit is real, but just be cool. Be cool, okay? Don't panic. All right. So glad I work from home. Well, Angel, you're lucky. My wife gets to work home 2 days a week, which she's lucky on that one. Not without a contract, he's not. Yeah, I don't think Dak's going to show up without a contract. And I don't think he should at this point because, listen, I've done everything you've asked of me. I've been a stand-up guy. I've gotten better every year. And if you look at the team, you guys want to say we lost because of Dak, but, this was a great quote. Let me find this here because I want to make sure I get this exactly right. Understand that football is a team sport. And as much as people want to say you win and lose by the quarterback solely, you're an idiot. Bob Sturm. Let's not forget that the 2019 Cowboys missed the playoffs because they were 0-3 against Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky, and Josh Allen, while allowing them a cumulative 8.9 yards per average, 75% completions, and a 119 QBR rating. And not to mention, Brett Maher was allowed to stay on the team for who knows why.
Aaron Stanley, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate that.
That Bud Light virus is worse. You're right about that. But think about that. Mitch Trubisky, a guy who they said they need to leave on the side of the road, okay? A guy they said that we need to just leave him on the side of the road because he sucks. Josh Allen and Sam Darnold had a 75 completion percentage against our defense. 75! And a 119 QBR. That's some crazy shit. Excuse me. That is some crazy shit. Sorry. That's unbelievable. So, yes, there were times when we wish that the offense could have scored more points. But other times we wish that this team wasn't getting gutted by other teams. Do you remember that Mitch Trubisky run where he's bobbing and weaving right on down the field? Looking like Michael Vick when he was in Atlanta? Yeah. That's why you drink Heineken? Oh, man. Brian, Brian, I got a new idea for you. I need you to do a shirt. I got an idea for you. I'll send you a message in a bit.
Chris Miller, thank you very much for that super chat. Dak fan for life.
All right, so enough of all that stuff, okay? The Dak Prescott thing, I know you haters are thinking the Cowboys are going to get rid of him. I thought I had a bottle of water over here. I wish I did. Maybe I got the coronavirus here. Got a little tickle in my throat. But Dak's going to get taken care of. They'll probably have to franchise and tag him because there's not enough time to get his deal done because you're talking about big numbers. They're working on Blake Jarwin. They're going to get him taken care of. Okay, Blake Jarwin's going to be in the house. They're working on Amari Cooper because they know they don't have the tag. But we can go ahead, tag Dak, and that just gives you time, keeps anybody else from trying to get at him, and gives you some time to go ahead and get it done, and hopefully they get it done before April 15th when workouts begin. And that's all I have to say about that. Oh, one other thing, too. Some of you guys say, trade him. You can't trade a guy who's not under contract. And so Dak can go ahead and say, I'm not going to sign that. Because once he signs it, he loses any leverage. Because they can't trade him unless he were to sign the franchise tag, and he's not going to do that. So that's not going to happen. In other news, we know Byron Jones is going to be able to test the market. You got, of course, Philly 500. Philly, with his quarterback. Baldo Salazar. You didn't listen very clearly, did you? You can tag him, but you cannot trade him unless he signs the franchise tag. Until he signs the tag, you cannot trade him because he is not your player. You understand that, right? Let me say that again. Unless he signs the franchise tag. The Cowboys can franchise tag him tomorrow. You think Dak's going to come in the office and say, okay, I'm going to sign that tag? He's not going to sign that. He's not going to sign that. He ain't going to sign that. He's going to be, screw y'all, get my contract done. He's going to do a Russell Wilson, like Russell Wilson said, pay me my long-term contract by April 15th, or my ass is not going to ever sign a contract with you. You can franchise tag me all you want. I'll come in and I will do only what I have to get that. But as soon as there's an exit, my ass is out of here. So make sure you understand what you're talking about. Now, this whole thing about $40 million. He didn't ask for $40 million. And, of course, you hear, well, he turned down $33 million. Well, $33 million is actually less than Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. Especially when the guaranteed money was only $90 million. Because, see, here's what you got to understand. The franchise tag is $33 million for this year. If I get tagged again the following year, it's 120% of the 33. So actually, let me do this. Let me do the math. I want to make sure I have my information exactly right, because if I don't, then somebody's going to say, well, you didn't get that right. So that at the current rate, if nobody else gets paid, okay, that's 39.6 plus 33. That's $72.6 million for 2 years. That is a hard freaking number. Okay? So if you're saying, I'm going to get you a 4-year deal and I'm only offering you 90, hell, I might as well work for 2 years for 72 and go where I want to go and get a bigger contract. Does that make sense to you guys? So you got to look at the average of those 2 years. That let me go ahead and do that. So 72.6 divided by 2, that's 36. So you're looking at it and saying, if you franchise tag me for 2 years, you're paying me $36 million a year. My long-term deal needs to be 36 at least. Sorry, that's the way it is. That's what it should be. Pat Mahommes is going to be resetting the market, so I won't be the highest paid. And being highest paid is not about being, per se, the best quarterback in the NFL. The only time in recent history you could say, okay, the best quarterback was the highest paid, was maybe Aaron Rodgers, although I still say he hasn't been staying healthy the last few years. Is he really still the best quarterback in football? When he got his 33? You could say maybe Matty Ice, but I'm not quite there after that choke job in the Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins wasn't the best. It has never been close to being the best. Matthew Stafford wasn't. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't. Andrew Luck, he was good. But all these guys at one point were the highest paid for a minute. So understand that he wasn't asking for 40. I'm not saying the number isn't 40 now, but he wasn't asking for 40. And yes, he turned down $33 million. That was only $90 million guaranteed. When Jared Goff got $117 million and Carson Wentz got $110. So you were asking him to take a deal that's less than what those guys were. Okay? So understand, when you come into my house, okay, come into Joe Boo's Man Cave, make sure you have your stuff together and understand it. Just like Nick Wright, who's usually wrong, said, you know, we're always talking the players should take a team-friendly deal. Really? Why should he take a team-friendly deal? If you don't perform, they're going to cut your ass. They're going to get look, Nick Foles, you signed him to a contract, right? You kept him there for 1 year. He got hurt. Now you're trying to get rid of him. Right? Emmitt Smith won you 3 Super Bowls. Got you the all-time rushing record. Thanks, Emmitt. See you later. Bye. Where's the loyalty there? Albert Hainsworth signed a $100 million contract. Well, we got rid of your ass, didn't we? They're not loyal to the player. Why is it we expect the player to be loyal to them? And understand, it's not like you and me, okay? People will say, well, they're not a doctor or anything. Well, okay, listen. I guarantee the best brain surgeon in the world gets paid a lot more than the other guys do. And you're talking about a very elite group of guys when it comes to that. And so, I've been trying to get off of that. No deal, give Dak his money. How you doing, Tony? Austin, how you doing, man? James Austin, Wentz equals Mark Brunell. Oh, okay. I was talking about Carson Wentz and those mother humpers because I got to give some play to you Eagle fans because I got so many of you guys in here. Okay, Philly 500 is drooling. Literally drooling. He's still drooling eggnog from Christmas, okay? His body is still saturated with all the damn eggnog and stuff that he had, okay? He is drooling from it. And he is wanting Byron Jones. I think he's been thinking about him in the shower, too. They're hoping, begging, pleading, thinking, and dreaming about getting him. And so we'll see where he goes. Byron Jones is going to have plenty of people that are suiting for him. The thing you have to wonder is this. Brandon Carr, who didn't get any interceptions with the Cowboys. I mean, Brandon Carr, we paid him $54 million as a free agent. We thought he was going to be a shutdown corner, but wasn't that guy. The interesting thing is, since he's left Dallas, the 2 seasons with Baltimore, he's got 6 INTs. That would lead the Cowboys over the last 2 years. You look at Terrence Newman, who we couldn't keep healthy. He ends up playing until, he's almost 40. We look at Morris Claiborne, the glass man. He got a ring this year with Kansas City. So it makes you wonder, was it the players or was it the Tampa 2 defense that we were playing that didn't allow us to get the takeaways? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting that out there that maybe it's not so much the players, maybe it was the system. And this is where some of you Eagle fans...
Does anybody know? Did anybody just watch? Am I the only person? Do I speak dog?
Yes, you do.
Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is where I was saying earlier.
What is Carr supposed to do? Urge
I
drop the
should have
ball in
said
the
that
end
field goal
zone.
earlier. Now the only.
Yeah, okay. I just had to play. I had to play with Philly a little. I had to play with you. That's my boy and all that. But those mother humpers. One last thing on Philly. I'm going to ask a serious question here. With Carson Wentz, is it Carson Wentz is a great quarterback, or is it that he is playing in a great system for him? You can't look at Jason Garrett and what he did and say that was a great system that he did and that everybody thrived in it, because you looked at the journeyman quarterbacks who came in for Tony Romo in 2015. Brandon Wheaton, Matt Castle, guys that had been around that couldn't win a game, right? And they said, well, you got to have your starting quarterback, Tony Romo. But you got Dak Prescott who walked in and won, right? If you look at Nick Foles, who got paid to go to Jacksonville, who they're trying to unload right now, after basically costing them $44 million, and they ain't got cap space to waste, but they're going to take some dead money on that. Who has been basically a journeyman quarterback, a guy who's averaged 205 yards a game, 1.2 touchdowns, half of an interception, and 7 yards per completion. That guy stepped in and took your team to the Super Bowl. He also stepped in the following year when Carson Wentz was 5-6 and won 3 games to get him in the playoffs. So I ask you again, is Nick Foles a great quarterback, just like Carson Wentz, or are they playing in a great system? Big Pain, I'm not reaching. It's a real question. Seriously. You ended up taking, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is elite. Carson Wentz is better than everybody else, but you got Nick Foles. Are you saying Nick Foles is that guy too? That Nick Foles is elite, that he can elevate a team? I just want to know. Because Jacksonville is saying Gardner Minshew is our guy. We want to get rid of Nick Foles. So I'm just trying to understand how it is Jacksonville's getting rid of an elite guy like Carson Wentz. Because he did what Carson Wentz did, running them through. Oh, actually, he did what Carson Wentz hasn't done. He's made it through playoffs games. Am I wrong? I'm asking a serious question. I'm serious. I'm asking a serious question because you got an elite quarterback. You really do. I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking. Oh, you know what, Jackie? Don't even waste your time on Fred Sanford because he's a hater. He's a hater. That's one of those people that it's like talking to a brick wall. That they are looking for attention because I don't think their mama held them enough when they were a baby. That they want some attention and that's why they're a hater. Just don't even waste your time. It's not worth it, Miss Jackie. Dak equals minimum wage. Yeah, well, you know what? I can't help it if my team is cheap. But you know what? It's amazing, though, that my minimum wage fourth-round quarterback is 5-3 against your high-priced, broke-down quarterback. How about that? How about that? Huh? Okay. All right. I'm going to finally try and get to the subject that I've been trying to get to, okay? I am excited about the possibilities for our offense, okay? I am excited about the opportunity of having the West Coast offense here, okay? Understand, the West Coast offense, I don't know how many of you know the history of what the West Coast is. The West Coast offense wasn't actually started out in San Francisco. It was actually started out in Cincinnati. Cincinnati had a great quarterback. They said one of the best prospects that are out there.
Glenn Arrington, thank you very much. 4 years, $130 million, fully guaranteed. Damn, that's a lot.
That quarterback who was slinging it all over the place got hurt. And the guy they brought in was not Jet D. Jet D in the house. Woo! How you doing, Jet? Jet's my man. Jet took care of business on those bathtubs. Shout out to Jet, man. What they decided was they used what they had to win. And I can't remember the quarterback's name, but it was Sam Weich was the coach along with Bill Walsh. I'm sorry, not Bill. Excuse me. Stop. Paul Brown with Bill Walsh. Okay? And they devised a scheme that was predicated on quick passing, short passings, because this guy did not have an arm. But what it does is it gets you the ball where you can make a play. It uses play action. So, like, you know when we had Cole Beasley going across the middle in the slot, and Dak Prescott, boom, hits him in stride where he's, not slowing down. He just hits him right there, and he makes a move across the middle. Think about Alvin Harper with the Dallas Cowboys years ago. When Alvin Harper would go to that crossing route, and he would literally take it to the house. That's what the West Coast is. And this was great because I was trying to do some research and stuff on there. And you guys have heard me say this before because what I wanted to see from my Dallas Cowboys offense this year was having Tony Pollard, having Zeke Elliott, having Amari Cooper, having Michael Gallup and things. That it was an offense that would move the ball around. Because, see, too many times with Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan, what they would do is basically say, we're going to line up and we're going to pound it down your throat. We're going to beat you with my men are going to be better than your men. That don't always work. And what that does is when you give Zeke Elliott, and let me pull up these numbers. Boom. when you give Zeke Elliott the ball 322 times, where's my numbers? Oh, I got to slide over a little more. 322, 242, 304, 301 yards. You know what's going to happen to your investment? You're going to wear that guy out. And you got to understand, when you're running up the middle and you get hit by, defensive linemen that are 320, 340, and they're falling on you, you're going to get beat up.
Glenn Arrington, I like your numbers. That works for me. Thank you for the super chat.
You're going to get beat up. Your career is going to be shortened. Think about Darren McFadden. When he was with the Raiders, he stayed hurt. He averaged 3.3 yards a carry because he was constantly getting pounded in the backfield and getting guys following him. He comes to Dallas, we got holes and lanes for him to run. He's averaging, like 4.6, 4.7 and staying healthy. Because it's a lot different when you're getting hit by, say a linebacker or a cornerback and things, as opposed to being, got 5 big-ass guys falling on you. But we continue to take Zeke and first down, let's run it up the middle and hit Zeke. Oh, here we go. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You will wear him out. But what the West Coast does, and I want you to think about how I'm giddy, because some people are like, well, with the West Coast offense, it's not going to be about running the game. Mike McCarthy, he didn't run didn't run the football much in Green Bay because he didn't have a Zeke Elliott. Because here's what's really cool. In fact, actually, I'll put this. I keep forgetting. I keep going through stuff, but this is something that I have said a million times. You've heard me say it.
He always talked about delivering that first punch.
One of the battle cries we used was beat them to the punch. Beating people to the punch. I want to hear that in your coaching sequence. During the coaching sequence, I want that to be something they identify with. I want to hear it all year.
When we take that field, that line field, it's just like Marvin Hagler. That's what it's going to be like. We're going to be unloaded on somebody.
Bill created a poster that I helped him with that said, "We will not be out-hit by anyone." And all the players signed it.
He says, and we're going to pound them into submission, and they won't even know it.
He was busting people. He knocked a couple people down, knocked a couple of his own players out of the way.
But we were just tricking people. We were beating people by death of 1,000 paper cuts.
Death by paper cuts is a fitting way for an author to beat an opponent. And
Death by 1,000 paper cuts. I always said death by 1,000 cuts. I had never seen that clip before, and I watched it. Wait a minute, because that's what you got. Q, back me up. Q. I've said that's what I look at with this offense is death by 1,000 cuts, because what you do is with the West Coast offense, you do a lot of play action, you do misdirection. And it's about timing routes, okay? You got basically everything goes to the footwork. And it's like a 3-step drop back. It's 1, 2, 3, boom, the ball's fired to a spot. And then it's on the player to make the moves. So everything is like that. And what it does is instead of always running up the middle with Zeke Elliott, you're going to end up giving him the ball in space for him to make moves. And this literally blew my mind when I did these numbers, because I always like to go through numbers and look at things as they happen. But Roger Craig was the first player to have 1,000 yards rushing and receiving. And here's how good that season was in 1995 when they ended up winning the Super Bowl in between us. He had 1,005 yards rushing at 4.9 yards per carry. 4.9 yards per carry rushing the ball. 214 carries.
I am Sleep Dog. Thank you very much for the super chat. What do I think of D-back C.J. Henderson for a pick at 17?
My thing is, he's a great player. I, for one, though, want a beast defensive lineman. Okay? I want a guy who makes the quarterback piss down his leg. That's what I want with my 17 pick. But anyway, back to Roger Craig. Here's what's even crazier about Roger Craig. That year, he had 92 receptions for 1,016 yards, averaging 11 yards a catch. See, here's the thing. When you're doing a screen out there, and I've got speed like Zeke Elliott, I can dance my way through there. I can put the cornerback on an island, or I can run him the hell over. And that's one of those things that we didn't do. See, play action passing is something you do a lot of with the West Coast. Bootlegs, getting Dak Prescott out in space. And if you incorporate that with some of the pistol offense, where it's run-pass options, where you're basically getting Dak out on a bootleg, and the cornerback has to either stay with the receiver or come up to get Dak, it's a win. Listen, it's a win either way. If you don't come after me, the quarterback, and I've got my contract and I'm paid and not worried about getting hurt, I'm running up the field for a big game. If you come up to stop me, you left the wide receiver open, and it's just a little dink to him, where he's now got the ball and can make a play. And herein lies the problem of why Dez Bryant won't work in this. I know everybody, Jerry's been thinking about Dez Bryant in the shower. I don't know what to say about that, but, he's been thinking, Dez Bryant, I've been thinking long and hard about him in the shower, about coming back. Okay. I look at that and say, he's not the guy for this offense. Because what this is about, don't get me wrong, Dez Bryant is an incredible athlete. He was an incredible Dallas Cowboy. You like his fire, his passion, and him wanting to succeed. He has the meltdowns, things like that. I get that. When Dez Bryant was healthy, Dez Bryant could out-muscle. And he worked well with Tony Romo because Tony Romo would buy time. The play would break down, and Tony Romo would buy that time, and he would find those guys. But this offense is not that kind of an offense. What this is about is speed and timing routes, precision routes. As a quarterback, I'm taking a 3-step drop, and my job is to fire right now. It keeps the defensive pass rush from being able to get to the quarterback because it's so quick. But you, as a receiver, you have to be at that exact spot where that ball's going. If you let that route sink out an extra yard or two, it's not complete. If you end up being late, it's not complete. Maybe it's a pick six. And the discipline has to be there. The precise route running has to be there. And I believe that's one of the reasons why they looked at Amari Cooper and said, when that guy's healthy, his route running is insane. He is exactly where he's supposed to be right now. And when you look at Dak, this is, again, I think the problem between Dak and Dez was Dak is looking for you to be at this spot. And Dez might be at this spot this time. He might be at this spot next time. And so I'm throwing to where you're supposed to be, and you're not there. Hence why the last year he was in Dallas, then he started working with a route runner. But at that point, it was too late. And that's why I look at this and say, you see Randall Cobb, he's a great route runner, and he's great in the slot. And if you start using play action, which is something we had a lot of success with last year when we ran it. But Jason Garrett, it just seemed like there was no rhyme or reason with their game plan. They didn't use analytics. Analytics will tell you, when we don't run play action pass at least 28% of the time, we lost every time. When you use these tools that you had, they're successful. And that's why I'm looking at Mike McCarthy and thinking, he's got so many freaking weapons. You'll start. Let me go back to this. This is where my key on here. So I want you to think about Roger Craig in that season. He was averaging 129 yards a game. Okay, do you look at Roger Craig and say that Zeke Elliott's not a better back than he is? I look and say Zeke, to me, is a better back than Roger Craig. But Roger Craig, 129 yards a game on 19 touches. That's it. 19 touches, 129 yards. In Zeke Elliott's best year, he averaged 124 yards per game, passing and receiving, on 22 carries. That's 3 more carries to still get 5 yards less. Imagine what this offense would be able to do if you got a healthy Amari Cooper and you start using some 2 back sets, okay? Because you think about Tom Rathman and, of course, Roger Craig. You start doing some of these things, and you start disguising what you're doing. So defenses know, if I put 8 men in the box, they're going to be bootlegging out of here. They're going to get Zeke the ball on the outside, or Dak Prescott's going to be outside. You've got these wide receivers that can make plays. Michael Gallup going into his 3rd year. You literally should be drooling at the possibilities of it, because the thing that Dak Prescott has done, and I couldn't find the numbers on it, but when Dak Prescott has hit 6 different receivers, I think they won like 90% of the games. And that's what this offense is predicated on. It's about getting the ball to the guys quick where they can make a play, and basically spreading the wealth around so defenses can't key on one guy. Oh, you want to take away Zeke? Okay, no problem. I got Amari. You want to try and take out Amari? I got Michael Gallup. You want to try and take out Michael Gallup? Hey, I got Tony Pollard. You want to take out Tony Pollard? I got Randall Cobb. Oh, and we're going to re-sign Blake Jarwin, and we're going to get him playing a lot more too, so he really ends up taking off. So you think about that, that should be like, okay. Because you cannot, honestly, as much as you want to say it's Dak Prescott sucks, you can't look and say, if you had brought Tom Brady here underneath Jason Garrett, that we would have won a Super Bowl. You can't. You cannot. You can't say that if you brought Carson Wentz, or no, let's say we took Jason Garrett to Philadelphia in 2017, that the Philadelphia Eagles would have won a Super Bowl. You cannot. You can't. There's nobody that looks out there and says, my God, Jason Garrett, he's an innovator. You can't name one thing that Jason Garrett has done. Not one thing. Not one innovation. None. You can't look and say, wow. Because you want to understand innovation. You know the Wonderlings test where we check the intelligence? Do you know where that started from? You know who actually was the first one to use that? Tom Landry. Everybody uses it. The first team to actually use a computer for analytics. Tom Landry did that. Flex defense, which is the father of the 4-3. Tom Landry did that. All these things were something new that gave them an advantage. I challenge anybody out there to find me one thing that Jason Garrett was an innovator on. I can't name a damn thing. Because when Sean McVay went to the Rams, came up with new offense, something different. Mike Shanahan goes to Washington, pistol offense, something different. Hell, Jerry Glanville in Atlanta, run and shoot. Miami, Wildcat. Jason Garrett, clap. So now, the final thought here on Mike McCarthy, who is part of that Bill Walsh tree, okay? You know, you got Bill Walsh up here, and it's amazing when you see the people who have coached up under Bill Walsh. You think about Jason Garrett's coaching tree. It's not even a sapling. Jason Garrett's tree got run over by the lawnmower. There ain't nobody coming from Jason Garrett's tree. But here you have Bill Walsh, okay? And you have Paul Hackett, and of course there's Mike McCarthy, along with John Gruden, Bill Callahan, Jim Harbaugh. You know, you start thinking about Andy Reid, Mike Sherman, Steve Mariucci, Brad Childress, Jim Harbaugh. I mean, you start, John Harbaugh, you start thinking about all of these guys that have been underneath there. And as a Cowboy fan, we hated the West Coast offense because we were pound those guys to submission. But you got to understand that this whole thing has changed. And for Mike McCarthy to have that knowledge and to have worked with an Aaron Rodgers, to have worked with a Brett Favre, to work with a Joe Montana, he knows quarterbacks. I look at Jason Garrett. Who's Jason Garrett worked with before he came here? Delusional Dak fan, you big mad and got called out because you, sir, are disrespectful. Oh, I heard that. Garrett Tree is poison ivy. Oh, man, damn. Mr. Dak is number one, and he will do nothing but get better. Tara B, our players are going to be held accountable now. Yes, they will be. Wentz is Gus Frerott's clone. Damn. Jason Garrett was the Cowboys' worst coach ever. You must be jealous over Wentz. Ridiculous comments on him. He's a great kid and an awesome talent. He is. Look, I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback, but you honestly believe all of the hype about him? That he is really that good a guy? I mean, is that what you're trying to tell me? Are you really trying to tell I ain't jealous. I'm happy about the guy I got. I'm happy about my guy, okay? Yeah. Wentz is Burt Jones. Okay. Give Dak his chicken. I think Wentz and Prescott are both good, but not. He's elite level yet. Okay. Oh, my God, the eye test. See, that's another one of those bullshit ones. Oh, it doesn't pass the eye test. Well, maybe you need some glasses. How about that? Love it. Play it again. Laugh out loud. Wheelchair Wentz. South of Heaven, how you doing, man? I know you've been busy. Mad everyone else on here. Don't care about trolling. I'm going to troll you. Okay. Okay. Keith Williams. Okay. When you come in, make sure you understand what you're talking about. There's a couple of different tags here, okay? If you have the exclusive tag, that means you're going to be paying about $33 million, which means that nobody else can negotiate with you. If you use the transition tag, which is about $27 million, then somebody could actually try and make a deal for him, okay? Cowboys don't want that option. They want to have the $33 million thing. Now, back to the trading part. It's not up to the Cowboys to trade him. It's up to Dak Prescott. You cannot trade somebody who is not under contract. You can tag him, but unless he comes in and signs that tag, you still don't own him. He ain't going to sign that tag. Why should he? That is his chip. I'm not under contract. I can't work out. Because if I get hurt, I'm not getting paid. How is it 27 million just feel? You know what, David? How is it 27 feels just right when Jacoby Brissett made 27 last year? How is that? How is that when Jacoby Brissett, who they're trying to replace this year, look, they're talking about bringing in anybody. Phillip Rivers. He got paid $27 million. Don't be stupid. I don't mean to call you out and tell you you're stupid, but you're stupid. $27 million? Come on, man. You're telling me sign him for less than the franchise tag. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you're saying. The franchise tag is 33. David Stahl, that got nothing to do with this job. It ain't got nothing to do with this job. I could be a part-time stockbroker and make millions of dollars a night, but it doesn't change what I charge to change a bathtub. You're a businessman. And guess what? The Dallas Cowboys are in business. How about we think about the money we didn't have to pay a quarterback over the last 4 years? If you're a businessman, apparently you're one that is not making money because you got to pay to have a quarterback. You're not going to pay him $27. Listen, take that. Just understand. I hate it when people come in with stupid comments. But understand, after Kirk Cousins got his 28, nobody signed for under 28. You had Matty Ice signed for 30. You had Aaron Rodgers signed for 33. You had Russell Wilson signed for 35. You had Carson Wentz signed for 33.5. You had Jared Goff signed for 33.5. Why would he take $5 million less than those guys? Why would he take less money than Carson Wentz? Why? Please answer. Please answer it. Because that's just stupid. Why would he take less money? Do you go in and say, I know the going rate is $35 an hour, but I'm a businessman, so I'm going to take $27 an hour instead. Come on, man. Don't be stupid. Don't be that guy. Yeah, Nick Foles did sign for less. And guess what? Did you honestly believe that Nick Foles was a great quarterback? Let me go through here. Because, see, and I'm going to tell you that Nick Foles was in the right situation at the right time. Nick Foles was a great quarterback. There's nothing about Nick Foles that said he is a franchise quarterback. And you can't say that he is. There's nothing in there. Look, best season of his career was, I want to say 2013. 64 completion percentage, 2,891 yards, 27 TDs, and 2 interceptions. That was the best year he ever had. Other than that, the numbers are pedestrian. 60% completion percentages. 59, 56, 65. Look what he did with Seattle. 4-7. 56 completion percentage. 2,000 yards. Kansas City. 4 games. 400 yards. Yeah. The fact that he got 22 was amazing. So don't give me that, well, Nick Foles took less money. Yeah, he was Super Bowl champion. And to think that Dak Prescott has got numbers far and away better than that guy who's been in here a lot longer. Delusional Dak fan, you have lost your whole mind. I don't think the Chiefs will make another Super Bowl. And see, Tara, I don't think they will either, because right now they're going to have to gut the team. I don't think the Rams are going to. I think the Rams are going to be going down the toilet. Sean McVay's offense has been found out. Jared Goff is definitely not elite anywhere close to it. He's kind of, you start questioning that one, and they're stuck with that contract. Todd Gurley, who was basically the guy that helped that quarterback out, Gurley, they're going to be talking to him about taking a massive pay cut or cutting him. So you look at the Rams, they're going down the toilet. Yeah, well, Tom Brady, here's another one of those, David. Here's another one. Yeah, he has taken less. I agree. But see, you got to understand, New England, they do that with everybody. And Brady also worked under probably the smartest coach in the history of football. The amazing thing, unlike the guy we had, Jason Garrett, an amazing statistic? That every quarterback that ever played their first game under Bill Belichick always won. And that's where you have to wonder, and this is where it'll be interesting to see if Tom Brady goes elsewhere, how they do with another quarterback. And what's also not taken into that equation is New England's defenses really haven't gotten the credit that they deserve. And that's the honest truth. Because that's one of those things that they have always had is a great defense as well. The fact that you had Matt Castle with a winning record, the fact that you had Jimmy Garoppolo look like he was Tom Brady, the fact that you had Jacoby Brissett even win games with his first game as a rookie, the fact that you went 3-1 when you lost your franchise quarterback to a suspension, kind of says you got a good coach there. You got another one for me? What? Yeah, you're right. We don't have an idea. Now, we have an idea what the Cowboys supposedly offered, $90 million guaranteed, as well as basically $33 million a year. Ruben Wells, thank you very much for becoming a member. Email me at cowboysmark94 so I can get you your shot glass. Welcome to the club, man. But it is getting late. We've actually been in overtime right now. It's 10:11. I need to go ahead and thank... Oh, and everybody who's gotten their shot glass, please send me a picture of you with your shot glass so I can add you to the mix. And I'm going to get a little taste. Just a little taste. So all of you who have your shot glass, grab your shot glass.
Cowboys 88, thank you very much for Super Chat.
Really, dude, you're going to go through about Nick Foles, who's a part-time starter and journeyman quarterback, and go ahead and hit me on that and think that he's actually better than Kirk Cousins? I got to tell you, as much as I hate the Eagles, I have to give their coach credit because he found a system that actually works and was an innovator, unlike my coach, Jason Garrett. So anyway, thank you guys, all you channel members. The email address is right there, cowboysmark94@gmail. Okay, cowboysmark94@gmail to email me that address so that way I can get you. Yes, Raymond, you are the last one. You're bringing up the rear there, buddy. So shout out to all you great fans. Woo! You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here because, well, actually, let's do this. Let's just have Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you first thing in the morning with Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys Report. We'll start working on free agency and figuring out who the Dallas Cowboys might be trying to keep and who they're going to go ahead and let go. I'm Mark Holmes, and thank you guys for being part of the Joby Sports.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.
We got it. My head is killing me. Oh, I guess it would help if I turned this off, wouldn't it? Peace out, guys.